Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three local Varisians that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Regan Belladonna, Catfolk Wizard, played by Char.
Hello. It's Monday, April 22nd.
It is. How normal of you. In the bottom middle, we have Mayhem, human vigilante fighter, played by Will.
Who is, in fact, a local Varisian. As
True.
it turns out. Surprise.
No changes. Also, your jacket's very nice looking.
Thank you.
And in the bottom right, we have Felix Milos, Maestro Bard, played by Alex. Hello.
Hello.
All right. And
60
with that-
degrees.
We just spitting facts today.
Excellent. All these riveting facts and more to come on this exciting, terrifying episode. So last time on Third Action, our group of local Varisians made their way on a nice little stroll through town with Vencarlo Orsini, a local sword master who teaches sword training at the Orsini Academy. Seems to have some students that were involved in some kind of love affair, or love triangle, rather. And seems to have the good of Corvosa at heart, even though he is a bit of a scallywag. Scallywag? Is that the right word? He's a little chaotic good, little not much for the rules. But he offered to teach Lizzie some swordplay for free on perhaps the next weekend, because it is currently Calistral the 9th, which is a star day. Yes, a star day. But in any event, you made your way down to Eel's End. He walked you there to show you where it was. And you decided to do a little bit of reconnaissance in the area. Said reconnaissance involved gathering lots of rumors about Devargo Bardafassi and his associates there at the Eel's End to try and figure out some possible plans of attack, ways of entry, means for getting access to Devargo. And I think that you basically ended the session at 5:20ish p.m. Returning, or actually like going towards the Eel's End to get a better look at what is going on there. So we join our crew as they are walking down this south along this dock. There are some signs along the dockway for various table games at the Twin Tigers Casino, which is one of the boats here. You see an ad for the inn on the ship whose name I forgot, and so on and so on. I've already told you about the various things on the available on the different ships, but you see like ads, like they're all relatively old ads. They were probably put up here a while ago, and nothing really changes at Eel's End. You see up ahead, there's a guy in... he looks like he's got some simple leather armor. Let me see if I can... What are these new buttons? I have weird buttons visible. All right, let me show you what he looks like. This is kind of bruisery looking type. He's maybe an ex-sailor or something. He's got some half plate on or chainmail underneath some like a leather jacket and furs. He's got big old pirate boots and a nightstick that he's just kind of idly tapping in one hand. And you can see he's got a bandana wrapped around his hair. With a silver spider logo embroidered into it. And he's just kind of standing there, got his, he's just tapping his nightclub sort of impatiently, looking about. He sees you as you're walking down the docks, but doesn't seem to think anything of you. And turns away. You can also see some various people standing about on the various ships. On the there's sort of a dock in between all of the ships that all of these ships are tied to. You can see the various ropes that are connecting or mooring the ships to the dock itself and each other. It's like a big web of ropes connecting everything.
Do you always have to come back to one of the docks to go between ships, or does it look like you could hop between ships if you were so determined?
If you look out, you can see that there are some little walkways that have been assembled between the ships that look pretty sturdy.
Okay. Did I happen to recognize that spider symbol on the Bruiser's bandana?
No, not at a glance, but you do remember hearing that Devargo has some kind of a thing for spiders.
Yeah, I wanted to forget that, and then was just reminded.
So yeah, you're free to do what you will.
Knivesies.
Are you volunteering to play knivesies?
No. I just want to see one game at some point. It doesn't have to be right this minute.
We can do a bit of a walking tour of the area and go through the Twin Tiger Gambling Hall. Take in a knivesies game.
Yay.
That sounds like a good enough place to start. So we'll start casually meandering. I'm not sure, are we doing any sort of cover here, or are we just going to go walking?
I think we are just tourists right now, and it's not even
That's
cover,
fine.
that's just a fact.
Okay. As you pass by the guy who's sort of standing guard at the entryway, he looks at you again and just gives you like a welcome nod. And you approach the sign for the Twin Tigers, which is clearly this ship before you. There's a kind of steep ramp leading up to it. It's like an old barge that's been reconstructed to become a floating casino. And you can see a man in red, clearly darker skin, appears to be probably a Vudran man. Show you him. He's got a pretty full beard, but it's sort of veiled by a cloak of red. And he's wearing a red vest underneath the cloak that also has the silver spider logo on it. And he's also wearing a bright red turban to match. He seems to be talking with the enforcer here, one of the Eel's End enforcers, and then turns and opens the door behind him. As he opens the door, you can hear the noise inside, the clickety-clack of dice, the shuffling of cards, the that sort of thing. Casino noises. And the door closes behind him.
Did we ever ask anybody at any point what he looked like?
Devargo?
Yeah. I don't think he was ever described to us.
I imagine look for a guy
That man
with
looked very
spiders on him.
He
But,
was not wearing his guard clothes. And he was going to the gambling area.
I don't remember a description.
I don't think there was.
No, we didn't get a description.
I did get the King of Spiders bit, which is terrifying for different reasons.
That guy looked. He had a
Did-
more important spider.
Didn't look
Do you want-
kingy. Looked
should we
looked
follow
more
him?
follower of spiders. But no,
Yes.
I'll start heading across the
And
bridge towards
knivesies
the
is in
entrance.
there.
Gosh.
Yes, knivesies.
Oh my goodness. You're not the fun dad. I see.
And as long as there's no issues with us just walking up into the door.
Yeah, the guard that was standing near the door seems to have just kind of walked away to the other side of the boat, and he's like leaning over, just kind of looking out and around.
Oh, the little gremlin in my brain that says I should charge him, try to shove him off, and kickstart this all right now. But instead, we're going to just simply open the door as though we're going in. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Into the gambling den.
Yeah, you open the door. A visitor. The man in red says, turning around, and you can see around him there's a blackjack table behind him with a dealer there, some guys playing cards, and a guy just sitting over here by himself at what seems to be like a dice table. I don't believe I've seen you here before. Are you here to play a game, perhaps?
To take in a game. We heard a tale of knivesies and wanted to experience this unique phenomenon for ourselves.
If you are here to play knivesies, you should see my brother. He is on the other side of the Twin Tigers.
Oh. Are there actual twins on the Twin Tigers?
Yes, of
one of-
course.
Are you one of the tigers?
Unpuget, at your service.
Ooh.
You should really meet my brother Rajik.
I do not
Yes.
know those names. Do I know those names?
The Knifesies brothers.
I don't think you've heard their names yet.
No, I don't
Those
think
are all
so.
new to us.
I will put them in the chat.
Thank
but,
you.
It's Anpuget and Rajik.
Rashik. Thank you. Twin Tigers and
Well, if you are here
Alright.
to play some dice, some spots just opened up.
I wouldn't be opposed to a round or two. I imagine the night is young, and I imagine all sorts of entertainment awaits us here at the Eel's End. But we should definitely at least find out when the Knivesies game is going to take place.
They are constant, but feel free. And they are just around the corner, and he'll gesture on the other side of the barge.
Thank you.
I see. Well, I will start making my way over to the other side of the barge. Can I scoot past these people?
Yeah, they'll kind of move
of the way.
aside as you try to slip past them. It's a narrow
Nice,
walkway.
nice
It's
to
only
see.
about 5 feet. As you pass by them, you can see where the mast is. There's a staircase leading down, and you can hear a lot more ruckus coming from downstairs. It sounds like maybe that's where like the main sort of
events
gambling hall is.
Ooh.
But you round the corner, you slip past another guy who's just leaning over the edge, taking in the view, and around the corner to find another door, where you hear a bit of ruckus, cheering and hooting and hollering inside. And you open the door, and you catch, you see there's a room with like a nice green velvet carpet, and a large crimson table in the on sort of one side of the room. And there's two guys currently standing on it, both with hands tied. Are they blindfolded? I don't remember if they're blindfolded. I don't think so.
I think they were just tied together, and then there was the dagger on the table.
In the center,
Yes, correct. One of them currently has the dagger, and it's the one on the right has the dagger, and he makes a lunge and hits the other guy in the shin, and he tumbles off the table. And there we have it. And half of the people in the room like cheer. The another two of them kind of like, damn it! And they start to kind of shuffle out, or the losers did. They just sort of meander out. And that is around, folks. And a man very similar looking to the man you just saw. This man here is Rajik. He looks practically identical to the other man. Same crimson outfit, same crimson cloak, same crimson tunic with the spider on it. And given the sort of head and face coverings, it's even harder to tell them apart, you imagine, than it might normally be. Do we have more visitors who wish to play? As he sees you guys standing in the doorway.
Yeah, looking for when the next fight's about to start. We just missed one, it sounds like. It's too bad.
Yes. We do have a... Are you willing to go another round? Of course, says the guy who just kind of jumps off the table. He's pocketing his winnings. Or he's actually putting his winnings into his into like a bag. As the other men collect their fees. Or not fees, their half of the winnings. Yes, you're more than welcome to come join. Please, come in. Just don't mind me. And he grabs the man on the ground and drags him out. I'll be right back. And he drags him out and around. I guess going past Regan, who is standing on the other side of the...
No, I'm stuck.
Oh, you're stuck.
I'm not actually there. There we go. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
here you go.
I think close quarters we're all having trouble with movement.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
can
close.
use...
That's all right.
Yeah, you can use shift to move to like in between spots.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty tight space.
Whee! I didn't know I could do that.
Shift and mouse wheel, yeah, it will spin you.
Yes.
Oh goodness. You hear a splash.
Oh.
Yeah, that was not surprising.
I hope he had rocks, because things afloat if you don't have rocks.
Well, he's more likely to be saved if that's the case, but...
Well, that done. Then shall we have a new challenger? Oop, sorry, I didn't mean to
Regan,
close the
you were
door.
so excited.
I have like a -5 in strength, so no.
I was going to say, if there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of activity, I think I will volunteer. I will hop up onto the table.
The others around cheer as you jump up there. Well then, we do have a challenger. Are you still up for it, sir? And he'll look to the other man. Might as well. And he'll kind of climb up onto the table. Rajik will pull something from his cloak, a small vial. Here, you should probably drink this to make it fair. Thanks. And he'll take a sip of potion to kind of heal him back up to full. All right. Now, the game shall begin. Are you already familiar with the rules?
Just want to make sure. There's just tying the hand behind me and get as many coins as I can and don't get killed or fall off the table, right?
Exactly. And there's a guy coming up, like, behind you to help tie your one hand behind your back.
All right. I will let that happen.
I think I want to put at least a piece of silver on Tully just for the sake of camaraderie. I don't know, like
Moral support. Moral
we
being a
gotta-
questionable resource.
yeah,
here.
gotta vote for your own team here.
I gotta entertain Regan.
Let's see.
Oh yes, I am
Came
being
for a
so
fight.
entertained. What is considered to be? What
Yeah,
is
I would place a customary bet. I am not trying to like high roller anyone right now.
Oh, I was gonna be like, what is the cutoff for what's considered like that's a high bet? 'Cause I would like to
I love the
place
twin
that bet.
I want both of them. I want this to happen. Yes.
Okay, let's see. Out of the people in here, these are all just my generic people. But this lady over here, she's actually dressed like quite nicely. Maybe she's a noble of some sort, or like probably a minor noble, or at least very fashionable. Also, hello, thank you for the raid. Roll for perception. Hello. Yeah, this lady, she seems to be a bit of a high roller. She's gonna look at the two of you. One, I need to fix something about this sheet. Can I do that real quick? Let's call that a that and that. Okay. All right. Yeah, she's going to throw down 20 gold for the burly sailor man.
Ooh. Then I will throw 20 gold for my burly, not sailor man.
Okay, so that's 20 on the sailor, 20 on Tully.
I think I'll be slightly less aggressive. Put 10 gold down.
Okay.
Ooh, a half-seas roller.
On Tully, I presume?
On Tully.
No, on the sailor.
Tully. Okay, sailor.
I mean, what odds are they giving Tully?
There are no odds. This is just
Winner take all, essential. Well,
this is a game of skill, basically.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh, you know what I should do? I should roll. Here's my dice.
Got your glowy dice.
No, I don't have my glowy dice up here. I have my Crimson Throne dice.
Oh yes, good choice. Mine's somewhere around here.
Okay, so Sailor ends up with another 63 gold. And then Tully... Who's that? What number is that? Oh, is that the max number? Is that a 10?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Possibly.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's 100.
Wow.
People think that the challenger's going to win this. Oh, right.
You're so
No one likes
strong.
Sailor Dude.
So there's a total of 110, 130 on Tully. And that is 60, 70, 83 on the Sailor. For a total. Oh, and how many people are there? There's Regan, Felix, and actually, yeah, I'm gonna say like, yeah, there's 4 people on Tully's side in this room, and only 2 people on the Sailor.
I wonder what the sailor did to piss them off.
He won too much.
Let's see him taking down a peg.
They just
Well,
see
we'll see
these
what we can
newcomers
do.
come in and start throwing some gold down, and you look kind of jacked.
Everybody's excited.
All right, let's see. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. This is going to be athletics for initiative.
All right. Sounds like a plan. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. A 25 total.
And that's a 10 for the other guy. All right. So, Tully, you are first. You can try to...
Well,
So there's
Get
the
the
knife in the
knife.
center.
Okay.
You can use an action to grab coins off the table. You get 1d10 coins each time.
Okay.
And doing that is an interact action that will provoke reactive strikes.
Fun. All right.
Any other details? And grabbing the dagger is just an action.
Sure. Well, to start with, we'll spend an action to grab some coins, and that action includes stuffing them into my bag or whatever I have that holds onto things.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
grab and stuff it into the little pouch that they've strapped to you.
Sounds good. Do you want me to roll the 1d10, or do you want to roll it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a 1d10.
1d10.
What was the total number?
7.
7. All right. So 130 plus 83. Actually, can I make like a... What's a good way to make like a temporary thing? You know what? I'll just change Rajik's HP. 213 was the total. Okay.
Just slowly beating him up by taking his money. Well, somebody's money.
Yeah, we'll do it as damage to Rajik. All right, so that's seven coins picked up.
All
and
right.
the sailor will try to attack you for that.
Okay.
Take his reaction. That is a 16, which is a miss.
Yes. All right. So in response to that, I'm going to kind of like with my arm or with my shoulders down grabbing at the coin, I'm going to use the arm that's tied behind me and with that shoulder just kind of shove into him and see if I can knock him down with a trip.
Oh, sure. Take the trip attempt.
All right. Athletics. Ugh, not a great roll. A 16 total.
That is a success, though. The
great.
target is prone. Oh, it automatically made him prone. Okay, yeah, you
Fancy.
bull rush him and kind of knock him off his feet. And he slams onto the table. Some coins scatter. Falling off the table is also a loss condition, by the way.
Right, and that's fine. I mean, is the money that we get at the end for winning overall, or is it the amount that we grab?
They take the table money and split it.
Oh, great. Okay. Then, just to be a jerk, third action, let's see if we can just shove him off the table with
All
a
right.
position. So this is going to be MAP. Is MAP going to apply
Indeed.
correctly? Let's see if this did or not. I don't think it applied MAP, so I think that's actually a 22 total. Because this is unarmed.
22. That is still going to succeed by 0.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you grab him by the leg and just fling him against the wall here.
Yep.
And the woman yelps and has to like kind of jump back as the
I
guy
was
just,
ready
like hits
for
the wall
it.
hard and falls onto the floor. Oh, a winner already!
Oh. Yes. Of course.
Oh, you are quite powerful.
Well, he kind of fell over a little faster than I expected. He was probably just wasn't ready.
Damn it! You must have cheated.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I'm gonna take the knife and
Knivesies.
quickly cut myself loose because I don't like anybody accusing me of cheating with one arm tied behind my back.
The sailor guy is gonna just kind of like yank and pull until he can get the wrap undone and just throw it on the ground and the pouch and angrily storm out.
Huh. Well, there's a sore loser for you, I suppose.
Well, let us go ahead and do the splitting. So it's 213 total divided by
That's Sounds right, yes.
13 divided by 2. So Mayhem, you get 106 gold and 5 silver.
Great.
Dang.
And the other 4 each get 26 gold and 6 silver. Oh wait, sorry, hold on. The house takes some. Okay, sorry, that should be. Oh no,
the house doesn't just get a fair split.
Yeah, the house should probably just take a split of that. What was that? 213 divided by 2, and then divide that by 5. No. I'll say the house is one of those. Sorry, so 213 divided by 2 divided by 4. Okay. So yeah, 26 gold and 26 gold, 6 silver to the rest.
Regan actually made profit. I was wondering if that was actually going to happen.
A little profit.
Well.
Otherwise, what would be the point in gambling?
It seems that we will need a stronger challenger. Would you like to go again, sir?
Tully looks back at Felix for a moment, just kind of get an idea on what we want to do next. Not in
You'd
any
better
hurry,
go
but-
again. The woman, the noble woman, hops up onto the table, and she sheds
Ooh.
her overcoat, which hits the table and cracks the wood.
Excuse me, am I getting rock lead up in here or something?
Yes. The weights are off. Woohoo!
I'm not
Yes.
leaving until I get my money back, sir.
I mean, suppose you could just ask for it, but if you really want to go, we can go.
Felix will sort of gesture one more is fine. Then
I mean, he does like
Until somebody tells him to
streaks.
stop. Yeah, I don't know what's next. All right. Then
we're
I'll
just here,
let
like,
myself get
enjoying
tied up again
ourselves.
and put the dagger back into the table.
Oh God,
Let's see how much we end up with. That is
to bed again.
72. I guess the
All
actual
in.
split between you doesn't matter.
All the bribe money. I'll do
There's a
my
bit more
20
money in the pot
again.
this time.
Oh, is that what was weighing her coat down? Was all of that money? I see.
Yes.
I'll put 20 in this time.
Yeah,
Oh my.
20.
Join you in the
Everyone's
High
mine.
Rollers Club.
So you both put in 20? Is that what just happened?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, as people are kind of cheering and throwing money in, the door opens and more people kind of flood in.
Ooh.
Through
to
the
place
walls.
bets.
It's crazy. I'm so excited.
It's pretty packed in this kind of small room. And I guess let's see.
She's
get
like level
this
20.
going again.
Like I said, I'm
throws her
getting
like a
rock
pizza.
lead in here.
All right, so this Chilaxian noblewoman is gonna roll her initiative. Let's see.
Not as good. 22
Woo!
this time.
And she'll roll. Where's her athletics? She got a 27.
Yep. All right.
Her speed is up.
Okay. No. She will lunge for the dagger. You can take a reactive strike if you want.
I will do so. Yeah. Take our just regular strike and punch out at
Yep.
her. I should ask this before I roll. Would I have been required to take off the gauntlets that I usually wear?
Oh, are they spiked gauntlets?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's fine. It would be fine if that was the case. I wouldn't have a problem. I'm just double checking before I roll the wrong thing.
You know what? No.
No? Okay.
They did not ask you to take them off beforehand.
Well, they weren't expecting me to just frickin' haul off and punch somebody, I suppose. 25 to hit.
That will hit, but not quite crit. Go and roll damage.
All right. That is 8 points of piercing damage.
All right. Yeah, you clock her good. But she does still manage to grab the dagger.
Okay.
Put the dagger in her inventory and give her that. And cool. Is that what I want? Yeah. All right. Okay, that was her first action. Action 2 is going to be to strike at you with her dagger.
Yep.
Let me make sure she's not throwing it. There we
Cool.
go. Just a little stab. 16 is
miss.
gonna miss. I have hero points. I will use
Am
a
I
hero
flanked
point.
right now?
Oh, it's counting flanked, but you're not supposed to be
Yeah.
flanked.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like,
Her friend behind you, booing.
turns out this was rigged the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fix that because I have to go
It's like
change all their
super flanked.
dispositions.
It's fine.
Okay, sorry. Let me reroll that with the hero point. Reroll, keep the result. Surely she can do better. All right, 25 should still hit, even with
It does hit, yes.
Yeah, okay. So she gets in a good lunging stab for 12 points of piercing damage.
Ow. Damn.
She's
And
furious.
she will stab a second time. Oof. And that is a miss. With an 11.
Yes.
Your turn.
All right. Well, if you're going to be like that, we're going to start out with a reposition. We're just going to try and throw her at the wall and see if we can just get her off the table right away. Again, seemed to work out pretty well last time. That is a 27.
That is a success. So
Ooh.
you grab and throw her. She
just shove
uses
off the
her
table.
reaction to reach out, like slam her hand against the wall and pop back up. But she is
Okay.
off guard.
Fair enough. Well, we can play that game again. Do I want to try disarm? No. Disarm is not as fun. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and reposition again. We're just going to try and shove her off once more.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think that's going to do it.
20 is a miss.
Yeah. so
You
that's
try
not
a
gonna
second time,
succeed.
but even though she's sort of off balance, you don't manage to throw her off fully.
You have your hero points.
I do.
You do.
I will
Yeah,
use
4.
my hero point.
All right.
And we'll see. It's probably not going to be better. It is worse.
Nope.
Womp womp.
16 is not good enough. Oh, wait. Versus her, what is that? Reflex DC?
I believe so. With reposition, let me double check.
It's not a crit fail.
Fortitude DC, actually.
Fortitude DC. Still not a crit fail now. Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Good to know. Because that could have been a problem. But then third action, we will... I think we're going to actually try and disarm this time. This is at a -8.
Okay.
So... she shouldn't have that dagger anymore. So that's actually like a 12. Because it's not factoring in properly.
Yeah,
Map.
it doesn't look like it.
And that is against her reflex.
Her reflex, which is that. That's just a regular failure.
Okay, so did
nothing
not
happens.
successfully.
Yeah, you try to grab that
Nothing.
dagger out of her hand, but she managed to kind of twist herself away from it.
Okay.
All right. She is back on guard at the start of her turn. it looks like you basically need 2 successful repositions to actually get her off the table.
That's fair.
In one turn. As long as she doesn't use her reaction. If she uses a reaction for something else, then no. But all right, she's going to. I think she's gonna go for another stab. Oh shit!
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, so
I
that was
forgot
an
I
actual-
added that.
So that was not. Was that a natural 20 or was that just a critical?
That was just a regular critical, but that was with the fake flanking, so she did not get a crit. That was just a regular hit.
Just a freaking jump scare.
I forgot I turned that module on. All right, so it should just be regular damage. Oh boy! For audio listeners, it did like a big cut in, and I don't know if the audio came through. I don't think so. I think I have the audio turned off for the stream. All right, 15 points of slashing damage or piercing damage. She stabs into you again, and then she'll go for the second strike. That is an 11. She'll use another hero point. Why not? To reroll that.
Not sure what I did to make her so unhappy.
Took her money.
You made her lose a lot of money.
She could have
15
asked
is a
for it
miss.
back. I straight up
She
said
doesn't
so.
ask, she takes.
And her third action is going to be to just try to grab some more coins. She grabs 3 coins. I don't think you're going to get through the coins first.
I'm going to reactive strike her.
Okay.
For grabbing those coins. Just a punch. Wow, it's a 14, so I don't think it's going to do anything.
Oh, whoops. I threw you off the table. Nope, a 14 is a miss.
Yes. All right.
Oh. I guess she was like scraping the coins toward herself, which makes sense why she only grabbed 3.
Yeah, not very
all right.
effective when you have a dagger in your hand.
Yeah, not really. Tully, your turn.
Okay, let's... Yeah, we're going to focus on getting her off the damn table. So, reposition number 1. Uh, 24.
That is a success. She will kind of catch herself and prop herself back up. Oh, no, you don't.
And yeah, reposition number 2. That is a 27 minus 4, 23.
That will hit exactly. You manage to, as she's kind of wobbling back onto her feet, you just slam her hard in her side of her stomach, and she tumbles into Rajik, he does manage to kind of jump back out of the way, but she hits the ground hard.
And then we get stabbed by
The crowd goes wild.
Woo!
Well, that was exciting.
Indeed. You are a very strong young woman. Yeah, whatever. And she will also angrily
Nice
leave.
job.
You too.
Okay.
Begrudgingly congratulates you as she leaves. All right, this 466 split by 2 is 233 for Mayhem.
Yeesh.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a 4-way split again for 58 gold, 2 silver, and 5 copper for the other 2 each.
Hey, this is a good way to make money, right? Let's do this for a while.
As long as we can keep you healed.
Speaking of, gonna kind of hobble off the table at this point and be like, all right, I'm gonna need a breather.
Backing down so soon.
You take a couple stab wounds and see how you like it.
Fair enough. Besides, we'll have to go find another challenger. And
I'm sure one of these fun sailors will be up for the challenge.
If you still wish to challenge, I will be right back. And Rajik
I
is
can
gonna go.
help stitch these up.
Oh.
These stab wounds.
I wanted to ask Rajik who that was.
Who
I
the
know that we
woman
got
was?
her name. Yeah. Did we get her name?
No,
you did not
I don't
get her
think she
name.
Introduced herself. Well,
A-
I'm sure
angry and
she's
upset.
never going to show back up in the narrative ever again. So,
Certainly not. One-time character.
yep, just a one-off as it happens.
I think I'll cast Soothe if you'll consent to it, just to
Oh,
get
yeah.
you a couple of hit points back. That was intense.
Yeah, she definitely stabbed real hard in the painful places.
And for someone who was cheering along on the sidelines, he seemed to be really good at throwing others around and using a knife.
Well, I not so much with the knife aspect of things, but you have to be able to throw people around when needed. Mayhem pauses as he thinks about what he's saying, and yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, I made 50 gold. And you made
Hey.
much more gold.
I did, and you can have whatever the share is when we get out of here.
Even more to bribe with.
Well, don't say that too loudly. I'm not sure who's listening.
Bribe me.
Oh, well, sure.
That's our cover up is bribe me.
Yes, sure.
You do have to make it through your studies at the university somehow.
That's true. This is for my college fund. My university academy fund.
I'm feeling soothed. What is it, 1d10 plus 4?
Yeah. You want me to hit roll healing?
So,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
5 is good.
was that 5?
That's
Yep.
5 more than it was before.
It was, yeah, it was not good. I don't know what dice those were, but ow. All right.
I can always stitch you up a bit if you give me a moment. She's like has a needle already.
Let's
Oh, yeah,
find
you're
someplace
gonna-
more comfortable if you're gonna bandage me up a bit. Wasn't there
Is
a
there-
bar or something?
Yeah, is there like a lounge?
There's the inn.
There's the hookah
Golden
lounge.
Hey,
Hawk?
lounge.
Oh, is that the Dragon's Breath?
Yeah, the red ship to the south here is the Dragon's Breath, which is like a hookah lounge. You can see some smoke wafting up from the ship. There is also the inn across the way.
The inn may be the wise choice unless we want to partake in other things.
Not feeling up to anything in particular, but I'm not against it.
I think we'll wander towards the inn.
Okay.
Making our way. Ignoring
Slip
all of
past
the
some
excited
people.
chatter downstairs, I guess.
What do you think they're doing?
Yeah, it sounds pretty packed down there. There are puppies playing there. You don't feel like you should interrupt them.
I shouldn't interrupt the puppies.
Puppies.
Am I okay to squeeze by this guy?
Yeah, the enforcer will sort of move out of the way as you squeeze
Okay.
through.
They know how this goes.
Yeah, they see people going around all the time, and in fact, he's probably going to move.
Ah, we did it. Okay.
Successful
you.
navigation.
Yeah, return to the central dock between all the ships and make your way towards the inn. You see there is a small man with bright green hair and beard. and he's wearing mostly sort of green and brown colors.
Plum?
He does appear to be a gnome, and he's got similar sort of like brown tunic with the spider logo up in the corner. And as he sees you approach, "Hi, hello there. Are you guests?"
Looking for something to eat. Nice place to sit down, take a load off. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not bleeding on everything.
Oh,
Knivesies went mostly well.
Had a bit of fun, did you? And he was sitting on a stool. He's gonna hop off of it, and come over to you, and then like start poking at your wounds.
Ow. Yeah. That's it. Was good dagger, sharp.
That's pretty sharp, huh? Well, yep. I can get you some grub. That'll be a silver each.
Sure thing.
No
I'll
problem.
pay for it, of course.
Oh, thank
No,
you.
let me make the people who just bet on me pay for my own dinner after I won big. But yeah, no problem. We'll just give a gold. Make it even.
Oh, thank you for the tip, sir. Tuggins, we'll make sure that you are treated right. I don't know why everybody is becoming Van Carlo's accent, which is also the same accent as one of the characters I play in a different game.
Because Van Carlo's accent is amazing and we missed it.
But Tuggins he's gonna go downstairs. He gestures to that you can go sit up at the
Okay.
There's a table up above on the above deck to sit at.
And we will sit, kind of
Finest
collapse on
table
one
in
of the
the
stools.
house.
Ow. He seems nice. So,
Everyone here at Eel's End, with the exception of the lady that you fought, seems to be open and welcoming. For a den of sin, they enjoy. They seem to have a welcoming demeanor.
yeah. Suppose that's how they lure you in the first place, right? Everything's hunky-dory until suddenly you don't have any money, and then it's not.
Well, they've managed to stay in business this long by keeping a mostly positive relationship with the city. I imagine they can't rob everyone who wanders into this place blind on the first visit. You know,
No,
give it a minute.
There's a society after all. They gotta follow the rules. But I don't trust these people. And
Nor do I think you should.
I will submit then to Regan's.
He's sitting there like with
Just
The-
got tools in hand, waiting.
just staring. Oh,
Look at the blood.
how exciting. I haven't tried my new stitch technique, which is my
Have you tried it on the orange first, or am I the first target for this technique? Have you not heard the orange thing? Surgeons will use orange.
Oh no, I
oranges
have
and other,
as
like,
a
fruit-
person have.
Oh, okay,
Regan's
sorry.
just sitting there like
Right.
tried it on an orange. Oh, I've
citrus?
I've tried it on plenty of summons at this point, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Is it better or worse to
It's
imagine
fine,
that you've
it's fine.
summoned like a demon and then used that demon for like stitching purposes?
No, you
I assume it was an undead, but
you ask first. It's fine. Everyone was fine. In the end, no one died again. So just
I am reassured. Soft pause.
la, la.
Soft pause. Ow.
Here
Ow.
it comes.
Ooh.
Oh, why is it so many?
Woo!
It's a lot of
Natural
dice.
20.
Yeah,
Yes,
natural
my
20.
technique. It's perfect and flawless. See,
So it's 29, gives you 33 points of
it's
healing.
technically 35, 6, 7, 38 because I get a +5 for my medic dedication.
More
But
than
you don't
enough
need it,
already.
yeah.
Oh, I think it's included.
DC.
Looks like it's
Oh,
included.
is it? Oh, good.
Yep.
Yes. 33 then.
fixed
Nice.
all of this and like old wounds that Tully had from years ago.
Yeah. So I'm
Have you just been
surprised
letting
by-
this fester? It's like
I
it's like a
didn't know it was
gorgeous
still there.
stitching. You're like, oh my god, it's like embroidery on my skin.
Wow.
That's right. I
It's
did
almost a
that.
tattoo. Did you
While
sign
you're-
your name?
Yes. Very small though.
Just the stitching is in like perfect cursive.
Regan.
While you're there, Reagan, you actually notice that Tully has like a very small rash on his right arm. It's very-
Close to the arm. Are you allergic to something?
I don't know. How do you know if you're allergic to something?
You get itchy red rashes. Or wheeze.
Have I been itchy? I mean, like subconsciously, maybe.
Yeah, maybe subconsciously you haven't noticed it.
Yeah, I haven't really felt any worse than normal. Just, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
This
What
is
if it's from
newish.
that lady coughing on us? Can I try and
I had
Identify-
forgotten about that lady coughing
Sure.
on us. Oh my god, that was so long ago. It was
is
like
this a
3 whole
wasting
days.
disease? Because I have a plus. I have a
you
book
can-
on this.
You do have a book on that. Go ahead and give me
Oh.
a blind medicine check with I forget what I give you from the book as a +2
It's like a plus. That was a plus
or +1.
one.
I think it's +1.
Plus one sounds
Keeping
good.
everything clean, Tully.
It's where'd it go?
I've been trying to keep clean. I have been working a lot. Sometimes don't have time to shower before we
Plus
go
one.
places.
6 hours of
Okay.
sleep, 1 shower a day. What was the rest of the list?
And a blind roll.
Yep.
Ba, 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 ba. I'm gonna use a hero point too for a double roll.
All right, go for it.
Cause I'm concerned now. What is this rash? Why are you ill?
We'll say this takes another
What's
like 10
happened to you?
minutes to do this medical exam. And while you're here, Tuggins comes back, and places some food on the table.
Thank you,
And-
Tuggins.
You're mighty welcome. And he will go back down to his little stool, like just down below you, and he's going to just be playing his little violin. Okay, you got your 2 rolls. One of those is indeed higher than the other,
Hooray.
as it is very likely. Yeah, you start flipping open your book. You ask him a couple of questions about has he noticed this discoloration before? You just go through the gamut of symptoms, and yeah, this certainly looks like some of the telltale signs of like early onset filth fever,
Oh my goodness.
which does in fact induce madness, and could very likely be what that lady had a few days ago.
Is there a cure for this? I guess you go to a.
Yes, there is treatment for it. I mean, there's a lot of common medications. Like it's a bacterial infection.
Oh, that's excellent news. But she shoves the book in your face and goes, "Look, you might have this. It causes madness."
That what? That's not. Why?
Remember that
Where did
woman? You should go see a, I guess, church. They do the healing, a cleric.
She coughed at me. I suppose. Sure. I guess we can go see somebody. Ugh.
Better safe than sorry, because the
just
sorry
a
version of
rash,
this is
though.
very sorry.
Sure, that's what this is.
Oh, it's just a rash. That's what everyone says. Oh, it's just a rash. Oh, I'm just feeling tired. Oh, my leg just fell off. It's fine. No. After this, we're going.
Tully like kind of lifts his left leg for a minute to kind of feel if it's still feels attached.
Besides, you don't
Seems
want to
like it's
pass
still
this to
attached.
your daughter when you go home. You should get her checked too, actually, just in
Oh
case.
God. Yes, you're right. You're right. Is it urgent? Do I need to go now, or can this wait?
Could we go later?
Yeah, you don't. It seems like it hasn't. It's been a couple of days and it hasn't gotten too bad yet. Like he hasn't manifested any symptoms. So he seems to maybe just be a carrier right now. I mean, that's one, a pretty minor symptom.
Oh,
It doesn't even feel.
He's just
It doesn't
spreading
feel very. Yeah. It doesn't feel terribly itchy. When she points it out to you, you do notice it. You do start to feel like you get that like, ooh, I feel itchy, but I don't want to touch it. Kind of sensation.
And I am masked, but not the right part of the face.
Yeah, you
So
have to
that's not
tug
gonna
your
help.
little scarf. That's not a scarf. Never mind. That's a
It's like a
collar.
cloak. I guess you can kind of pull up the cape part and.
Oh, I should have
over the
bought more
front.
of these masks.
Did I get a mask?
But it is also something that you can treat, Regan. With treat disease.
Oh, do I have?
How long does treat disease take?
I think that takes like a day.
Yeah.
So like 8 hours of. Spend 8 hours caring for the diseased creature.
That's a
Yeah,
good
you're
weekend
guessing,
plan.
Regan, that he can spread it probably, but it's currently not affecting him in any like manifested way.
We shouldn't be spreading this to people. And she thinks that, and then she takes off hers and puts it on his face.
Your
goes.
what?
My mask. I have
Sorry.
a
Oh,
basic
the
face
mask.
Oops, sorry. She puts it on his face instead. There we go.
Does it transmit through the voice, or what's the issue here?
Isn't it it's a disease, right? Where you cough.
I don't know how good germ theory is in this day and age, so I'm assuming Tully doesn't know that that's how you spread diseases.
I would imagine Tully
necessarily.
doesn't know.
Yeah,
This seems
a
like-
learned scholar might have some idea
I
of
can
how.
cover this rash, so if it's flaking, she wraps like a bandage around that.
Yes,
There you go.
thank you for that. So that hopefully will help with the itching. Do you have any, like, aloe leaves or something?
I don't think I have
Aloe
aloe
for-
leaf. Well, maybe here's a little. Maybe there's a little in the kit, and put it on.
She pulls a leaf out of the kit and just squeezes it like a tube of toothpaste.
And we wrap
You
it
get
up.
some of that like aloe oil on you.
Ah,
a little.
yes. Just a splurge. Ah.
There you
Well,
go.
Thank you. We'll see a healer tomorrow or later tonight. Depends on who's open and how late we're out.
Just have me like Regan sits in the bedroom, like you see her eyes in the dark as she's watching for like the 8 hours as you sleep. Like,
Just those cat
cured.
eyes, always watching.
It's like I could heal you. But yeah.
So, we've made ourselves known somewhat, which may or may not be a good thing.
You've definitely made at least one friend and at least one enemy.
Right, but the enemy I'm hoping is not somebody important. I don't know. We never got her name.
No.
She was very strong, though.
And gosh, where did I put his name? Rajik was at least excited to see us, and hopefully, if we ended up wandering back to the Twin Tiger Gambling Hall, their brother will be similarly excited. I wanted to take a look around now that we've been sitting here in this tavern for a minute with kind of like the eye of somebody else who also runs a bar. How in what repair is the Golden Hawk in? Like, are we seem to be at the only table in the place, which is just, I don't know,
So
I did notice that.
a bit odd.
So there's downstairs area as well. You just happen to be at the outdoor seating, the one table for the outdoor seating. But the Golden Hawk is definitely the most damaged of all of these ships. You can see that it is the most heavily tied to the dock here, and it's actually like tilted and leaning towards it.
Everything we
if
put
you-
down kind of comes towards us.
Yeah, it kind of slides a little bit along the table until it reaches like a sort of safe point. Yeah, it's in pretty bad shape. This ship, it looks like it could fall apart. You imagine that they probably must do a lot of repair work to keep it stable. But yeah, you imagine that there must be some sleeping quarters here, since it is supposed to be an inn. They probably have them downstairs.
Okay. But otherwise, the actual inn seems to be in good condition. Like the tables are clean. And there's not too much dirt on the floors and so on.
Yeah, they seem to be kept clean enough. It seems.
Okay.
He did have to come by and wipe the table as you sat down. Sorry, I'm removing some like outer walls just to make this slightly easier visually. But yeah, it's mostly seems okay. You've seen worse, by far.
Script and Scrimshaw was in more dire condition at one stage.
Yes, quite possibly. Yeah, Tuggins seems to be taking care of the place as best as he can for the structure that is largely falling apart.
Does it seem busy? Like, have any other customers come in? Can we hear any noise from downstairs?
Let's see. So the time you're up there, it's now like 6 o'clock. You've seen a couple of people come in and out. Like here, this couple is gonna head downstairs. You saw one person, maybe some kind of merchant, leave the inn and head his way over to the Twin Tigers to probably go do some gambling. You see two people, two men, leave together and head towards the House of Clouds there to the south. So yeah, doesn't look like crazy busy, but there's definitely people moving about. There is at least one person who comes to like check in at the inn and is given a room key and set up and sent downstairs on the other side of the ship.
Oh, cool. How's the food?
The food's okay. It's a little bit plain. Nothing fancy. It's like chicken risotto. Feels like it could use a little bit more salt or spice or something in it. It feels very, very plain.
Probably
not worth the
prepared
gold,
in
but-
bulk for the evening, and then just
Mhm.
ladled out when people show up.
Yeah, you imagine so. Yeah, otherwise the people kind of move about. You notice the guards, the enforcers, kind of making their rounds around the place.
Do they keep to a regular schedule, or is it sort of wishy-washy?
It seems pretty wishy-washy. They seem to just be kind of meandering about. They kind of wander around, talk to each other. Occasionally, they'll like if it looks like somebody's kind of standing around suspiciously, you might see one of the guards go over and talk to them and say like, "Hey, no standing here," and they'll kind of move and be on their way. But people seem to keep their distance from the enforcers.
From our vantage point on the outdoor seating,
Mhm.
is there any guard who maybe he's less attentive than the others. Sort of wanders off more often. There was the one at the entrance who seemed to like to go onto the pier and back again.
Sure. If you want to take 10 minutes to try and perceive that, to kind of sense some motives, yeah, I would allow that. So we'll take 10 minutes and then go and give me a perception check, or a blind perception check. Other people can also be doing other things in that 10 minutes if you wish.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is if there seems to be a guard who may be more lackadaisical than the others.
Okay. All right, you rolled that. I have a number. Tully, Regan, do you want to do anything during that 10 minutes, or are you just kind of chilling?
I'm chilling. Regan is gonna keep going through pockets and handing Tully a small series of items and explaining what they are. Just being like, here's this, do this, take this anti-plague if you need it.
Until he's listening and eating and keeping an eye out for suspicious people. Mostly people who might cause problems that could be exploited if they get into trouble, or that could cause a distraction, or we could cause a distraction.
Okay.
I'm looking for situations that could be exploitable right now for infiltration purposes.
All right, go ahead and give me a blind perception check then.
Yes, we should do this thing as you ask. Question marks.
Okay.
Might be too busy focusing on Reagan though.
You're like barely listening, but she's doing it, going through all of it anyway.
Yeah, you're not listening too carefully to what Reagan's saying, I suppose. You do notice, from your vantage point here, you can see across the way to the I keep forgetting, the Dragon's Breath, the red ship, and it looks like some of the people that come out of there are pretty out of it. Like they're maybe drunk or high or something. They're definitely like they're giggling a lot. Sometimes people are like throwing up. It seems like different symptoms, so maybe different kinds of drugs, but they seem like the most likely to cause disturbances here, you think? There are a couple of like broody sailor types over at the gambling who like are standing around the gambling area, but it didn't look like they had any alcohol at the casino.
It's fine.
So it looks like the people who are inebriated in some way, who might be easily manipulated into doing something like that, seem to be coming out of the Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
Felix, you notice that one of the guards, this guard here, that seems to be kind of assigned. He seems like he's less patrolling and more making his way. He'll kind of stand out in front of the hawk, the golden hawk, and he'll kind of stand outside the golden hawk, kind of meander around for a bit, and then he'll like duck into the House of Clouds for a bit, and then come out. Like he'll be in there for like 5-10 minutes. You've actually been noticing this the entire time that you've been sitting here, not just these 10 minutes. But he seems to be taking a lot of frequent breaks over to the House of Clouds.
Someone has a sweetheart they're visiting.
He likes butts. There's a lot of them.
We'll see if he'll lie about it.
And yeah, he almost looks like he's kind of daydreaming, almost like he's barely paying attention to like people or like what's going on. And he also seems to have like the shortest patrol route. He just kind of goes back and forth between these two boats.
Does he ever wander over our way such that we could like strike up conversation? Or are we gonna have to go get into his patrol path to have an excuse?
Yeah, it looks like he'd probably have to go get into his patrol path to have an excuse. He doesn't make his way up there. He just kind of occasionally comes down here. He'll like talk to this enforcer that's on the sort of main docks for a little bit, and then he'll kind of go back, make his way up here to the southern end of the Golden Hawk, chill for a bit, look around, and then go sneak off into the House of Clouds, and then come back. Seems to be his kind of routine.
It's a good thing to know. I don't immediately know what to do with it, but it does seem that like security here is pretty lax, and there are weaker points than others.
Well, we can cause a commotion. We can strike up a conversation. See if there's some method of infiltration in that manner.
I don't know if I'm quite ready to strike up a commotion yet because we haven't figured out where we would go.
I'm guessing it's over here where these two guards, and I'm guessing wrong here. These two guards who are standing outside of this one door that otherwise haven't moved, are they generally pretty stationary there? Are they switching out frequently? And the center ship on
there's this larger central ship. It's bigger than all of the other ships around it. It's clear that that must be the Eel's End. I think there's actually signs that say the Eel's End on it.
Mm-hmm.
The front half of the deck is there's often a couple people milling about here because it's sort of a connected pathway between a bunch of the other ships. But the back half of the ship seems to be fairly empty, except for two enforcers that stand guard at a particular door. And yeah, they basically have not moved. Occasionally one has gone inside, like one or the other has gone inside for a bit. And then has come back, and like they'll talk to each other. Sometimes the other guards that are patrolling will come talk to them for a bit, but they haven't. The time that you've been here, at least, they haven't moved. They seem to be pretty assigned, stuck there.
So that's my guess on where they're at. So we can use some of the people coming out of the Dragon's Breath and possibly convince them to get into some sort of commotion or fight. Convince them that somebody insulted them, one of the guards.
It seems like an inn.
It's an option. I'm just spitballing here.
I'm trying to think of other opportunities. The distracted guard seems like the weak point where we would drive something to let something escalate. So we definitely need to find another opportunity. If we could run into the lady you unfortunately angered at knivesies, that would be just as good.
Who are these folks?
This fancy group.
A group of three people catches your eye walking down the docks. One of them is clearly an enforcer who is just kind of tailing behind them. The other two, one is a woman. She seems to be maybe a half-elf. Possibly like a half-elf Varisian woman. She's dressed in fairly loose-fitting clothing. She's got a fairly busty top. Her goods runneth over, as it were. And she's got like a pretty long skirt with like a pretty big cut, or I don't know what you call that. It's a very revealing outfit that she's got, and really high,
like a high slit.
High slit
sort
skirt,
of thing. Okay.
and very tall leather boots. She's very clearly a sex worker. Or she dresses like she's a sex worker, something like that. Not that is not a value judgment. That is more or less what she's showcasing. She seems fairly flaunting about it. And the other person that is beside her is this fellow. He is a
spider.
fairly
look very
severe-looking
pleasant.
man. He's clean shaven, but has that kind of 5 o'clock shadow. What is this? It's 6 o'clock. He's got a 6 o'clock shadow. He's got really intense, like, striking eyebrows. He's got dark, I guess it's dark brown hair that kind of swoops off to the sides. He's wearing kind of leather armor with, I guess it's like padded leather armor with a lot of studs, and a silver spider kind of chain. I don't know what you call this. It's like a brooch, but in the center of his chest, with some with some silver chains spreading out to the various other pieces of his armor. It's kind of clinking as he moves
It's got
along.
like a spider harness.
Yeah, he's got a leather daddy harness, but it's made of metal and it's shaped like a
Leather
spider.
daddy harness, but made of spiders.
Yeah. There are actually he does have like a couple of little spiders, a couple of actually large spiders chilling on his shoulders as he's walking down the pier.
It's a spider guy.
He seems to be kind of laughing and talking to the woman beside him.
Are they making their way into the Eel's End or towards the Dragon's Breath?
They're making their way towards the Eel's End. And if you keep watching them, they'll sort of make their way towards the bridge in between the Eel's End and the House of Clouds. And the woman will kind of lean in for a kiss on the cheek. And then both of them laugh, and the woman heads into the House of Clouds, while the guy in the spider armor makes his way to that closed door that those other enforcers were blocking. And him and the enforcer that was tailing him enter that door.
So
That's like a 10-minute
Halvara,
exchange.
I'm guessing, would have been the woman. Could have just been one of the other workers there, but I note that Devargo has a thing for Halvara, so might have been a date of some kind. I'm assuming that's Devargo, but it makes sense.
Seems likely. He took all his spiders on a date. Do you think the spiders on that other ship were also his spiders? I don't think so. I think those are random spiders. Do you remember the spiders?
I do remember the spiders.
Maybe they're just spiders, though.
I assume all spiders at the Eel's End sort of work for Devargo in one way or another.
Well, those spiders were at the warehouse.
Yeah,
Oh.
the Shiver Warehouse. It was just all the baby spiders.
Again,
We
not a
noped-
fan of spiders.
we-
I blocked those from my men.
We left. We said, nah. Just nah.
They-
No
Just
spiders.
left.
They were on the old boat attached to the old fishery.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah, they chased us out of there. That was terrifying.
Interesting as well that they were on the boat.
Spiders on this old boat. I can't
I need
believe
my
it.
red string. Spiders. Shit.
Spiders on a boat.
Devargo.
eels, hen.
What does it all mean?
It's possible Gadrin could have had dealings. Like, he was the sort of well-connected criminal boss who would need things and would reach out to others to get them. I could believe it.
So, do we want to plan to do anything tonight, or are we coming back?
If you have a plan, I'd love to hear it. I
I
haven't.
don't.
I'm still in tourist mode.
My current thought is causing that ruckus and seeing what happens. So,
yeah, if we want to head to the Dragon's Breath, the best opportunity may be to wait for the right moment to occur and start that ruckus.
if you want to go to the Dragon's Breath, we can, but that I'm not a big fan of those kinds of drugs, but
What if we did the super straightforward approach of walking up to the guards saying, "We have something important to meet with him about, and tell him we can pay a fair good amount of money."
we could just walk up to them and say that we've got an appointment.
Oh. And then get really
I don't know.
upset if they don't think we have one. Like, how could you? I am the richest person on
Going
this
back
deck.
going back to our dumb noble idea of I have so much money and I will only spend it if I meet with Devargo personally. But so much money. Jingle, jingle, jingle. I don't know.
We can get a really good streak at knivesies.
Become
What's
a
considered
champion
a
and get
good
well
streak? Is it 3 or is it 10?
So considering the splash of the body that we heard when we first arrived, I think a streak of 1 is pretty good.
So we've got 2 under our belt. But you also have a horrid disease that you'll be spreading to everyone you're playing knivesies with.
Right, which is another reason why maybe hanging around is not the best idea, but I don't know how long this takes to get over.
Maybe that's your secret weapon. No one will touch you in knivesies.
Oh god, just be like, I'm sick.
I'm ill.
Cough on your opponent. Quick.
Rub my arm rash on them.
Ew, that would make me jump off the table, I think.
Look at it! Look at it!
Did you have younger siblings?
Well, we can. I don't think we should do anything tonight. I think some scouting would be a good idea, but I don't think causing any problems tonight is a good way forward, unless we have a better plan than just knocking and saying hi. We want to talk. That's a terrible plan. He seemed friendly and he seemed like he was in a decent enough mood talking to that woman.
True. And the straightforward approach should not be dismissed. He conducts business with people throughout the city. We cannot be the only ones.
If you only lie when it's very important, people believe you.
I think the biggest problem we have is figuring out how to ask the question.
I didn't think of what questions to ask to get, because I don't know if just asking give us blackmail on this person. It's oh, it's a little vague. Or maybe it's not.
It's vague.
I think you've been told.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I muted myself. I think you've been told early that Vencarlo is fairly sure that these two have a lot of dealings. The ambassador and
okay.
Devargo.
So there's a possibility that there's blackmail that Devargo has access to that we can get from him if we can convince him to give it up. But did we establish if his relationship with the ambassador was positive or just a business transaction, or?
You're not sure. You know that the ambassador visits once. He used to visit a lot, and now he visits about once a week.
Maybe he ran out of money.
But you don't know the specifics about.
Yeah.
You could try to gather more information on that if you wanted.
I think that
Just
would be a good
casually
thing.
ask people around here about things like the ambassador and his relationship with Devargo. Yeah, I think if we want to spend some time gathering information, I would spend an hour or 2 hours, I think, for gathering information. Just trying to be chummy. Roll some dice.
Definitely want to learn if that was actually Devargo who walked through, or somebody else who just has a Wolverine
that
vibe.
would be good. I am making a lot of assumptions. And would be good to know if that woman is Halvara or somebody else.
I think our friend
I
the
don't-
guard who continues to walk into the dragons, the House of Clouds would probably know that. Maybe
That's
we
fair.
can grab them during one of their loops.
All right. Oh, what would you like to start with? Are you using abusing Reagan's hobnobbery again?
Yes.
Do hour-long?
As quickly as possible.
Wee-hoo.
So I would assist by trying to be deceptive about what we're approaching this with, but I mean, we're kind of making small talk about the ambassador who used to hang out around here and haven't seen him in a while. Do you know what he's up to? Was he friends with Devargo? That sort of thing. Gossip.
I would aid in that deception by trying to open with being amazed at the VIP who just came through and sort of playing the wide-eyed tourist and getting either the guard or Tobias, the innkeep. I hope I'm getting their name right.
No.
I was going to say
Tuggins.
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 It was a T name.
It was written down somewhere in my notes.
Yeah, now I've written it down.
Inland by gnome safe. Not seaworthy.
Just about the passers-by.
Okay, sorry, I'm putting down lamps everywhere. This is getting dark.
Well, that's
okay,
because it's
sorry.
getting dark.
Ultimately, what was that question? What is your one question between that?
What is up with the ambassadors not showing up and hanging out with his good pal Devargo anymore?
Asking about the ambassador.
Yes.
All right. Someone give me aid, or multiple people give me aid, and then once you're done aiding, Regan, give me the diplomacy. And sure, I will allow
Okay.
deception. I will allow diplomacy. I will allow intimidation
Secrets for any of
as
these?
aid. Not for the aid, but for the actual diplomacy roll.
Okay.
I will aid.
22 for my aid deception.
That is a regular success with deception.
20.
20, both successes, so just a +1.
Okay, I'm gonna use a harrow point to roll twice for this one because I feel
All
it's
right.
important.
Down
Stress.
to 1 harrow.
Getting to him.
Yeah. I'm gonna need. All right, one reroll.
Rolling again. Rolling.
Rolling on out.
Yeah,
Rolling
the
on out.
line.
Rolling
Wee.
on
Okay. This second one.
out.
All right. Oh, and chat's immediately giving you another hero point back. Cool.
Yes.
Okay. So you decide to spend the next hour, from 6:30 to 7:30, schmoozing,
Mood
asking
lighting.
around about the ambassador and his appearance here at Eel's End. Speaking to a couple of regulars, it seems like the regulars are aware of this ambassador guy. You hear from one person that the ambassador always looks really sour when he's here. You hear one person talk about how the ambassador, they heard the ambassador loudly cursing Devargo's name as he was leaving one time. And
Interesting.
another said that Devargo, that the ambassador used to come here with a woman sometimes. Some like weeks or months ago. But they haven't seen that woman since then.
A Voudran woman by chance?
No, I
Okay.
think this was a Chalaxian woman.
Okay. That's good to know too, though.
I can maybe double check that. She wasn't. She's not sure. This lady is not sure whether or not it was a Chalaxian woman.
Okay.
It might have been a Verizian woman, maybe.
Just checking to see if it was related to that Voudran woman who has some relationship to the Cerulean Society we know about already.
Right. Yeah, she assumed. This lady assumes that must have been his wife. But she's not sure. She doesn't really know anything about the ambassador.
Fair. But he doesn't like coming when he comes by anymore.
Yes, and lastly, you learned that the ambassador actually hasn't been here for the last 2 weeks. He used to come every week, but since the death of the king, he hasn't showed up here.
That's suspicious. So, as an ambassador, would probably be busy dealing with the upheaval that's roiling the city at this point. So,
What was his
Yeah.
sin? Did he enjoy the gambling halls?
Oh, that's a good question. He
like
let's
that
see, with
dragon's
that
breath.
information, that roll. You're not sure. The people who have seen him mostly saw him go onto the Eel's End. No one really remembers if he was in any of the particular other establishments. They mostly saw him outside.
Okay.
That's not to say that he wasn't, just that you can't seem to quite get that information. At least from this roll.
So, is it worth literally just going up to the door and saying, "We're here to talk about the ambassador," and see if that gets us an audience?
It could be.
It does sound like they're not the best of friends.
Right? So that's one way to get an possible in, is by helping position ourselves on the opposed to this ambassador side that will help him out if he gives us some dirt from his time knowing the ambassador before whatever falling out happened.
I think it is a strategy.
It's that strategy. Yeah. Please, if you have
Gosh.
more options, I'm just
No, I'm
really
like,
I'm
that was
Eddie
my
grabbing at straws.
I'm like, that
No.
was the simplest strategy that makes sense to me. Is just
Okay.
attempting at least to be like, hey, we're
So-
here. We want to talk about the ambassador, and we have money.
I feel like we shouldn't lead with the money part, but that's a good thing to
No.
have in pocket just in case.
Indeed.
But yeah, having some bargaining chip, so it's like, oh, these people are serious about talking and not just drunks from the next boat over.
I kind of really wish we could figure out what he was up to. The other loose end that's sort of rattling around in my brain is you remember when we were looking into the world of meat, the fact that the business had closed as a result of someone buying out the previous owner?
You saw that note you have that note in yours too? A Chalaxian noble bought the business?
Indeed.
Ooh.
Someone with deep pockets running around the city.
Sorry, I'm just putting another red strand over here to connect
Yes.
Jelliax to the meat
meat.
market to... Oh, goodness. Okay.
It is like we have nothing to connect these things together right now.
But they're there.
But they're just they're things.
And
they're
the
just things.
spiders on the boat. They're
That's
all
where I'm starting
important.
with.
Yes. It's all coming together.
This clue web. It's a spider web. It's all spiders all the way down.
Oh gosh.
Maybe we'll get interesting information if we talk to him too. Even though it's blackmail information, it still might be interesting to us.
Gossip, I guess.
Gosh.
Doesn't like a little gossip.
Really?
So-
She said that?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Speaking of hot goss. What is that hot goss I hear right now?
Yeah, it has gotten
You-
busy this late in the evening.
There's yes, as you've been snooping around and talking to people, the Eel's End is becoming more and more poppin'. It's becoming a little bit happening. You guys are just kind of tucked into a little corner on the dock, talking in a sort of safe spot that people probably can't hear you because you're like right by a ship and it's creaking and making a lot of noise. But there is a couple, a man and a woman, near you at a bench, and they're just sort of talking sort of openly. Yeah, really, they're saying it's assassination. The king? Really? That's the word from the crown. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Who's responsible? They don't know yet. Sounds like they're searching the city for the criminal. And they continue to sort of gossip about this.
I knew it.
You do get
They
points,
wouldn't let
Regan.
me
You totally knew it.
examine the. Well, they didn't know I wanted to examine, but I didn't examine the body, and I knew that I should have, but I'm glad someone else did.
Do you really think it was assassination? I know the crown has declared that, but
He was poisoned, I bet, or cursed. Remember, they couldn't heal it, no matter what they tried. That was some high-level cursage.
you think a curse would do that? I mean,
I'm
you
not
would know,
sure.
I suppose, but what kind of curse would they not be able to cure? He's the king. Was the king. He would have had all the resources at hand.
Maybe he just had bad taste in doctors. But he did get most of the doctors in the city, or the clerics in the city.
I thought so.
Yeah, you heard that he got clerics from all of the major temples, including Asmodeus, as a sort of a last resort.
I do remember that one. An interesting choice, but a choice all the same. Yeah.
Hey, when you're on death's door, you sometimes you take drastic measures.
We pray to strange gods when there are no gods listening.
Maybe we can interview the clerics who saw him, and someone will talk about what they were trying. Ooh, I wonder what it was. Or if it's super true. I mean, it's two people gossiping. In the
Before we go,
sin den.
if we're really thinking this is some sort of conspiracy, before we go looking for the ones who are alive, we should see which ones are dead. And find out why they've died.
Which one
Because
of
if they-
what's...
Of
Yeah,
these doctors,
I'm-
these physicians.
Oh, the doctors. Are they dead?
I'm going to assume that if you go in service of the king and fail, it's frowned upon.
They
And if
just
they were all
kill
simply
you?
beheaded for, I'm not going to say that. They may have been released, but if there are any that are dead, it would be for a reason. And it might be that they had a heart attack. It might be that they were beheaded for knowing something they shouldn't know.
You know, I didn't even think that they would start killing the clerics for just doing a really bad job.
Yeah,
Or if they
I,
all
that
really
did not
good
occur
job.
to me either.
Or a really
If
good
this
jo-
was a poisoning-
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
If this was a poisoning and
Oh.
they couldn't solve it, it's because they either couldn't figure out how to, or when somebody did figure out how to, they were killed. So if we look into who is dead that was in service to the king,
If
trying
anyone
to
was dead.
cure him and find out what that's about, that's a thread we could start trying to take up.
I didn't
Totally
even think about that.
taking layers upon layers on this one.
It's like great thought. It's like, oh, they
That's
did
assuming,
actually
again,
succeed.
if you think it's actually murder. I don't know. That's
Oh, it would be juicy if it was.
well,
for
then
my
worries me how
collection.
deep that goes down. Your collection of what?
My book collection. I haven't shown you my book collection. I've only talked about it. I must show you one day. One day, come back to the academy, and I will show you my fine collection of based on real events fiction from around the city.
Are you writing fan fiction about?
I did not write this. I don't have time to write this. I merely read it. I consume it, and it's wonderful and enriches my life.
You found a community who writes fan fiction about the city and
Yes.
its inhabitants.
Yes, a community of
like-
like-minded fiction lovers.
So is this like true crime fan fiction, or is this just fan fiction about things that happen in the city, or?
Oh, some
am
of it's crime, some of it's, I guess, science fiction. Some of it's romance. The romance ones. I don't know. You shouldn't read them. She points to Mayhem. You shouldn't, but you would like some of them. I'll pick a few out when we get done with this.
I don't know
how
are
to
you
feel
talking
about
about the? Are you talking about the Corvosan Fiction Society?
Oh yes.
Oh, I'm a huge fan.
Oh,
I read
What
every
is-
issue.
what's your
a
favorite
man
issue?
who's just walking by has overheard the conversation and has inserted himself.
What's your favorite
Um,
issue?
My favorite is the secret lovers of Neolandis, the seneschal. It's quite the spicy read, if you ask me.
Oh my, that is a good one. Not for this old man here, perhaps.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize we were in the company of non-fans.
Yes, these are my.
I'd like to note that Mayhem is wearing both a mask over his head and also a mask that Regan gave to him
Yes.
to cover his face. So is basically you can see his very annoyed looking eyes. Being called an old man.
So I think
well-
I've collected every issue. I have to get the new one.
Oh, that's... I actually don't have that one yet. I was here to gamble to try and get some more money to buy it.
Oh yes. Well, good luck.
Thanks. You too. And he'll wander off.
See, there are fans everywhere. I can't believe
The
you guys haven't read
Corvosan
any of
Fiction Society.
it. Yes. It's very
Just
large.
keep learning about more and more things to protect my daughter from every day.
Oh. That's just like
Just sometimes so
think-
problematic.
you need to protect. I guess some of the books don't read issues like the earlier issues are really iffy. There's some stuff in there that's not appropriate for anyone to read anymore. But the later stuff, they got better. Regan's just rambling on.
Those aren't like these aren't like those Pathfinder journals, right? That come out of Absalom.
What are those?
Those are like adventure trash sort of pulp
Oh.
reading. They talk about going to far off places that don't exist and that sort of thing. It's all bunk.
Well, that's most of fiction is things that don't exist.
I don't do a lot of reading, so I don't really know what people write about.
You don't know what fiction is? Well, that's interesting. I've not
I
met
mean,
someone like that.
I know that fiction is stuff that's not real. I just don't know if people write mostly non-real stuff or if they just write like journals and things.
Oh, I see.
I imagine, like all good lies, there has to be like a ground of truth somewhere to build upon, to keep the story believable and the reader interested.
That would make
Yes,
sense. Yeah.
Fiction, non-fiction. The based on non-fiction, fiction.
And to be clear, that's what this fan fiction is, right? Is this fiction that's based on non-fiction?
Yes, it's fiction based on non-fiction. So there's an issue where the king was murdered. Interesting enough, but it didn't really happen in the same way. So it's not a didn't have any good theories, but there is one.
I wonder how much truth is embedded in those, because some writers may have more of a clue than others about what goes on around the city. Because
anything goes on.
I mean, the king did really evidently get murdered.
Yes, but in this one, he was stabbed 18 times. Which I don't think happened here.
So, do you think this is a bit of a tangent? Do you think that there is prophetic fan fiction?
I think that's magic. I think there is. I think all prophecies are fiction. If you really think
We're slowly killing Jason. He's just sinking so low.
There is a power in his story if you believe in something enough.
Well, you're suggesting that there's fan fiction about him being
go
stabbed
on.
multiple times. Do you think there would be more fan fiction that could cover all of these possible options?
I mean, he
including...
was stabbed 18 times, but it was by the ghost of his great-great-grandfather.
Right. Do you think there's a different story, though, that would involve him being poisoned in this manner? And do you think that maybe there's any correlation to real events? I don't know.
Oh, that someone's out there writing... I see.
Maybe?
I mean, that seems weird, but...
That's a little too far-fetched, I think.
That's a little odd. Like,
Need I remind you that we all possess a deck of cards that, when necessary, we can summon the ghost of a woman who was murdered from using.
yes, well,
There have
ghosts exist.
Yes, I'm saying there are strange things out there. I'm wondering if your fiction society will be
Oh.
helpful at all.
Well, we
You
can
need
certainly
not
read
summon
through all of
me.
them.
I'm always listening, even in moments like these.
Okay, maybe after this we'll go through all 647 issues, and we can see if any of them sound like they're prophecies.
Do you have all of them?
Yes. Well, not the recent one.
You have a lot of issues.
Zolera,
Yes, that is what I just said.
Zolera, were you familiar with these stories in your time?
I did, in fact, read a few of these. I would not consider them prophetic, no. Prophecy certainly has not worked the same since the death of Eridan. Even if they were prophetic, I doubt their prophecies would hold true anymore. The Harrow can hint at the future, but even that is not strong enough to bind it in any strong way.
It reassures me slightly that the works that Regan is so interested in will hopefully not accidentally come true, lest we find the king full of 18 stab wounds.
Yes, it didn't seem like that was true.
We would have
It
to
is-
pull his body up, I imagine, and examine it first to find out if it was also stabbed, but
It's not to say that coincidences don't happen. You can feel
Maybe.
Zalara shrugging.
Eh.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't really trust coincidences yet, but so do we want to go and try and talk to Devargo now, or retire for the night?
I think you said
don't
you
have
didn't
to
want to
do it
do
now.
anything tonight.
If we didn't have a plan, but if we have a plan, we can. And our plan is straightforward. It's go and talk to the man. But we don't have to do it tonight. We can do some more research and reconnaissance tomorrow. It might be safer so that I'm not getting this whole ship infected.
Oh yes, you're sick.
Mask
Oh stop. Oh,
That
you have
is
a
true.
mask. See, it's helping.
works.
I don't think it'd be the worst idea to give you a day to heal up, and it would give me a chance to hopefully interview a new security guard.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my
To help-
goodness, what is that noise?
You see a group of people. They look kind of thuggish. They're dressed in similar kind of leathers to the Eel's End enforcers. Let's see if I can show you what one of these guys kind of looks like. They look much younger than a lot of the guys who seem to be the enforcers. Where the enforcers are probably like 30, 40, maybe 50 years old, and all like big burly sailor types. These guys are a little bit thinner, leaner, maybe in their early 20s. Maybe some of them are in their late teens. But it's a group of 6 of them, and they're all kind of walking together. They're joking and joshing as they're walking their way towards the Eel's End. One of the enforcers seems to recognize them and waves them. He's like, "Oh yeah, up in the back. He's waiting for you." And they're all just kind of laughing and making their way in a line. I mean, not in an orderly line, but just because I can't move them any other way.
Yeah.
Make their way towards that back room. You saw the man you presume to be Devargo enter.
Well, it seems he's busy for the night anyway.
Yeah, that's definitely a good reason not to go in tonight. 6 extra
Yeah.
guards show up.
Go
Yeah,
from
it'd be his,
outnumbered
like-
to extra outnumbered.
Little crew that he picks from.
Let's get out of here unless there's something else you all want to do.
Oh, I got my money. You got your money, and we got our info.
Oh, yes. Remind me when you get on to shore that I owe you all a split of what I got.
Pay for your healing first. And getting your
Sure.
daughter checked out, just in case.
You know, that's a fair... Maybe we'll both go to the church ceremony tomorrow then. Just, see if we can get everything taken care of there. But, Tullios will push himself up off the planter that he'd been leaning against and just kind of make his way out. Oh,
It's just some people kind of passing by.
yeah, just milling about, as they do.
All right, you make your way up to the north,
Whee!
across the creaky old dock, back to the city.
Out of Vegas on the sea.
It's Atlantic City, let's be real.
Oh my god. Yes.
It is Atlantic City.
Atlantis City?
Mm.
I like to call it lost wages.
Mm.
Shout out to all the real ones who watch Frisky Dingo. All right. So, you exit Eel's End. It is now like basically 8 o'clock in the afternoon. What would you like to do?
I suppose it is afternoon, but is it the afternoon?
I think it's
I mean,
evening, really.
No.
Night, sure. I think everything afternoon is afternoon. It's always afternoon somewhere.
It's afternoon until it gets to noon. Then it is noon, and then it is afternoon again.
Just one big loop.
All right,
What are you doing?
doctor.
Should we do that tonight or tomorrow?
I mean, you're just gonna get sicker.
We can at least drop you off at the Church of Serenray and see if they can heal you now, or if you have to come back later for an appointment.
Tell you what you can do to not spread.
Yes. So we'll swing by the bar, grab Lizzie on the way, drop you off, Felix, unless you really want to come with, and then we'll go to the Church of Serenray, get ourselves checked out, check in for the night if need be.
All right. So you navigate your way back across the city.
Ooh.
I need to put the token ease add-on back on because it's so painfully slow to.
Oh my gosh, look at it go.
Whee!
Damn it. Yes, this is Foundry. Cajoldrissa. I had a pronunciation in my head before I said it. And then I fucked it up. Kojo. All right, I'll go with Kojo.
Cajoldrissa.
But yes, this is in fact Foundry. We used to play on Roll20. Long ago, but then I escaped.
Yes.
Okay,
Not
so
that
yeah, you had your way back to the Scripton Scrimshaw to go pick up Lizzie. I'm gonna call that 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We'll call it 35-minute walk. I'm just eyeballing it. And yeah, you go to pick up Lizzie. She is entertaining there's like a couple of guests here. There's just 2 people there. You wait for them to wrap up for the evening. Which is like 15 minutes later. They're done. They're heading out. You close up the bar, and then as a group, it sounds like you're going to the Temple of the Dawnflower, Serenray.
Yes, Serenray, which I think was over here-ish.
Yeah.
South of the castle.
Probably be good to check if Regan or I are incidentally
that's-
exposed.
For safety.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I can do that. Oh, I meant to roll it blindly, but what's the blind? I thought it was shift. Is it alt? Oh no, shift is just... Is it control shift? Ah, control shift is blind. Okay.
Shift gives you. Oh.
And let me do Liz D as well. Okay. Yeah, you arrive at the temple of Serenray. There are more priests here than there were last time. But you do recognize Mr. Cornelius First Light, the orc that helped you out last time. He greets you and is surprised to see you again. You explain to him the situation, and he, I'd be glad to take a look. Let's see, can I actually do anything about that, though?
No, you're just gonna die.
I don't think these spells remove that. What's the new remove disease spell?
Oh.
I don't remember what it's called. It changed names in the remaster. Because Sound Body doesn't do it. And
It's amongst
Clear Mind
this.
doesn't do it.
No, it's not that. It's not Sound Body?
Nope, Sound Body I think explicitly does not counteract diseases, curses, or conditions. It can suppress... Oh, well... Maybe it can help with poisons, but yeah, it doesn't actually fix the poison. Is there like neutralize? Okay. Any case, I'm afraid I don't have any magical way of dealing with this at the moment. But if you would like, we could spend some time treating it here overnight.
If you wouldn't mind, just don't want to spread this around. Regan was concerned, so...
Well, thankfully, it looks like only you have contracted the illness. Oh, I see. You actually shown up as Tullios. Okay.
Yes.
I missed that part.
Would have swapped before getting back to the...
Oh, right. to pick up Lizzie, of course. Of course.
Yes.
Would not make sense otherwise.
Also, it's a Cleanse Affliction is the spell.
Cleanse Affliction. Thank you.
Yeah, second
what
level.
is that? Second
Second
level.
rank. Excuse me.
In that case, he actually should have that. Okay. I think I just didn't actually put it on. Okay. All right. Actually, let me try something. And he will attempt to cure this with Cleanse Affliction. Counteract. Go. Roll.
Oh, it doesn't counteract necessarily.
Oh, does it not counteract? Let's see. All right. General Restorative
at
Magic
rank-
pushes back the effects of toxins and more complex maladies. Choose an affliction or curse, disease, or poison. If it has advanced past stage 1, reduce the stage by 1.
It only attempts to
okay,
counteract at rank 3 or higher.
I see. Okay, so I see. You can't actually cure it. Okay.
No, I have to just get over it.
Okay. That's actually kind of nice. I like that change. All right. Well, he'll still cast it just to make sure.
It's appreciated.
Well, it seems like it hasn't advanced far enough to be a problem. At least not yet. Very well. If you would like to stay overnight, the other clerics and I can treat you. And we can quarantine you off in some safe healing chambers.
As long as I'm not going to get anyone else sick, yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, follow me then, and he'll lead you to some quarantine chambers where they will do some disease treating.
Yay, quarantine. Woo.
Do you mind if I stay at the inn then, Felix?
No problem. I'd rather you feel safe than be left alone at home. Plus, I don't think we have any guests tonight anyways.
Yeah, I guess we haven't actually had anyone staying at the inn yet. I've been trying to keep all the rooms clean now.
Thank you. And maybe it'll be time to start some advertising as after we start to get our first employees.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We at least are known in the neighborhood for running good breakfast, thanks to you.
I'm not that good of a cook. But
It's better
I can
than
at least
burnt
do
coffee.
eggs. Are you coming back with us, Regan?
No, I will probably go back to the academy to sleep and read.
You
All
gotta
right,
go get
well-
the latest issue, right?
Oh yes, I have to pick up the latest issue on the way back of.
Latest issue of what?
Corvosan Fiction Society.
Oh no, she's like thinking because Tully said he doesn't want his daughter
that's right.
reading this. But
Latest issue of
so,
what? She looks so curious.
what other issue things are out? How old are you, child?
Oh, I'm 16.
Oh, 16. Latest issue of the Corvotion Fiction Society's newest release, which I can't wait to read, and it's definitely appropriate for children and adults 16 and older.
Oh, sounds interesting. Maybe I'll have to pick up a copy for myself.
Maybe you should ask your dad, or not. Actually, I don't
Why would
care
I-
about this. Read whatever you want. That's what I did, and look at how I turned out.
Well, I'd say you turned out quite well. I
Oh,
mean, you
thank
were able to save me after all.
That's true, with much effort, but don't always do dangerous stuff. But yes, I should pick up a copy on the way home, do some reading, and consider some topics that we've talked about tonight.
All right. Well, good night.
Oh yes, have a good night.
Night.
Hey, Felix, she asks after you start walking away. Where'd Dad get that rash?
We think it was from an encounter on the street a couple of days ago. We ran into a lady who wasn't doing the best, and she actually ended up grappling your dad at one point.
Oh, that's awful. Dad never told me about that.
I'm sure he just did wanted to spare you from a less than pleasant moment here in the city. It's been crazy with the king's passing, and I'm sure if he told you every story of something insane happening, you'd be there all day.
Well, he could start by telling me at least one story. She kind of pouts as you continue your walk back to the Script and Scrimshaw. And that leaves Regan, I guess, heading back home.
Yes, and I will attempt to purchase the most current copy, my favorite book series. So now I will have 648.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, they're fairly cheap. I will say a silver. You managed to stop by. There's a shop in the university district on the way.
Student
that's
bookstore.
Still open late.
It's $500 for this one book.
Collector's
500
edition.
gold.
Hardbound.
All
You
of the
can sell it
information's
back
online.
for
What am I paying
3
for?
copper.
Yeah, it's just one silver.
Yes, and I'll add it to my pristine collection on my shelf
All right.
after I read it, which is
Okay.
instantly.
Well, yep. You just immediately start speed reading it as you spend the rest of the night reading the latest issue.
Regan
What's the latest
gets
issue
to her bed
about?
and like puts the covers over her head. You can still see the light bulb that's like floating around.
Actually, the latest issue is about Sabina Marin, the Queen's Guard, and it's fan fiction about all of her past exploits, about how she's a master of every kind of weapon, and how she's had like 30 lovers in the city, and her various trysts with people of note.
Weapon Master of Love is what this is called.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Perfect. It is called Weapon Master of Love.
Ooh, excellent. An engaging copy.
There's a couple of other small short stories in there too. It's kind of zany, I guess, because it's a lot of different authors that all submit their work, and they publish like once a month or so. All right. Well,
We
with
got
that,
470 issues and they're publishing once a month.
No, they have
How
many years have
they been at
648
this?
issues.
So,
oh,
sorry,
there's maybe some times where they were publishing once a week.
Maybe they slowed down in recent years as as popularity has waned a little bit.
There's a big section in they actually got started in the Queen Domina era. So there's a bunch about Queen Domina. And that kind of era of the city.
Thinner too. They
they were more like
they
pamphlets. Yeah, and they kept getting thicker. And I like that. Cool.
Just Corvosan lore drops.
All right. Well, in that case, let's see. So that's treat disease. That is going to be... Oh, yeah, he needs to roll it. Surely he has medicine. Let's see. I will use my last arrow plate.
Why would you... Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to deal with that. All right. Oh, damn it. It showed that one. Okay, well, 25. Okay. It is much better than his natural one before. Okay. On a 25, that is a critical success. You get a +4 to your saving throw against the disease. Go ahead and give me a fortitude save from overnight.
Okay. So +2, you said?
+4.
Or +4. Nice.
A crit.
Treat. 4. Add. Ooh. Could be worse. 22.
That is a success. So overnight, they apply some poultices to you, and they do cast some like minor healing spells on the afflicted areas. They notice that there's some on your back as well, so they have to treat that. But it's kind of like a bit of a rough night in terms of like they keep having to treat you all night, so sleep's not great, but you do manage to sleep for the most part. And yeah, a new day dawneth, and I think that will be the end of the session for tonight. Yay! Well, we got some new Korvosa lore. We've learned some more about what's going on at Eel's End. I now regret naming the last episode the Eel's End, but it's the Eel's End 2.
Eel's
End.
Ender.
Any case, ooh, perhaps.
Eel's Endiest.
Then, yes, the third will be the Eel's Endest. In any case, thank you all for joining us. Thanks to all, welcome new people who show up all the time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Give us like, subscribe. We have the little Discord thing sometimes, you can say hi. I'm usually in there. Join us next week. I'm pretty sure we're here next week. We're here next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Checks notes.
I believe
all right.
so.
Cool. We're almost certainly here next week. See you then. Until then, don't move. Freeze. Just stay still. Just wait.
Ah.